Greetings, my honeys. How are you all doing? This video has been a long time coming because as people awaken spiritually and as we go more into the age of Aquarius and the age of knowledge and gnosis, you will hear a lot of people talk about the romantic aspect of soulmates and soul groups. You know, the cliche twin flames and, oh, I have to find my ultimate soulmate. So today we're going to be talking about what to do if it's not written in the cards in this lifetime for you to meet up with your ultimate. So when I say your ultimate, when I mean your ultimate mate, I'm not talking about necessarily twin flame. Could be your twin flame. I'm not talking about your ultimate soulmate or soul group member, but I'm talking about the best relationship you could ever be in. The person may not even be your twin flame. I'm talking about the person that gets you. You all are compatible. You all can get along for years and years, and the relationship can last. Some of us are not meant to be with our most ultimate compatible person in this lifetime. And I'm going to talk about how to cope with that. I'm going to be giving you all some hope today. And I'm going to be speaking from personal experience. I'm going to kind of talk briefly about my own experience because some of you all may be saying, well, misery loves company. No, you do not have to be miserable. My message in general today is you can have a great, fantastic, spectacular life without being with your ultimate soulmate, twin flame, or the most compatible person that you can be with in this lifetime. Because I always say, everybody has a so-called twin flame or other half, a soulmate. Even the person that's homeless on the street that's talking to themselves, or somebody that's in a prison cell, they have somebody somewhere that they're connected to. Would you want to be with that person when they're at their worst? And would you want that person to be with you when you're at your worst? So depending on the type of life path that you have picked, or the current choices you have made that have got you where you are today, would you want that person to show up for you? I always say it's like having a party at your house. Would you want to invite people over to your house to a party and the house is a mess? So we come here to earth a lot of times to either teach or get our house in order from past messes that we made in past lifetimes. So that is why we are here. Because once again, we've come to learn and get things in order so that we can evolve to the next level, like a video game. So let's get into it. You know, I always work from my notes so that I don't miss any points. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow me at my only IG, Adunola the Oracle, and everything will be in the description box. So let's go. Once again, I repeat, you can have a really great life without having met your soulmate, twin flame, or ultimate relationship in this lifetime. And another thing is, just because you haven't met or it's not meant for you to meet that person in this life, it doesn't mean you're not going to get married. It doesn't mean you're not going to have a partner or a relationship. I really don't like that partner word. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have an active sex life, or that you don't have a whole bunch of people on your roster to go out to eat with. So it's not saying you're just going to be alone or lonely. And even if you choose not to have a big romantic aspect of your life, it doesn't mean you're not going to have great friendships. Doesn't mean you're not going to have children. Doesn't mean you're not going to have your family and pets and adventurous, exciting places to go. Once again, you can have a wonderful life without that Romeo, Juliet, oh, I just want to cry on my pillow type of love. So let's see. Note number 1. Yes, let me say this. Most of us souls that incarnate to earth, we're going to have at least one or a few lifetimes where we're not coming with our twin flame or soulmate. Say, for instance, if you've incarnated, I don't know, 100 times, 1,000 times, there are going to be some times where you and your soul group get together and you're going to say, you really don't fit in this script in this particular lifetime. Let's say Angela Bassett and her husband, Courtney Vance, they're married in real life. Say, for instance, Angela is going to be in a type of movie to where it doesn't really fit the type of narrative that Courtney does as an actor. So she may do that movie by herself. That doesn't mean that they're not still connected at home in heaven, i.e. That just means that he doesn't fit that script. So every time you come to earth or wherever you incarnate to, you and your twin flame or soulmate are not going to always incarnate in the same lifetime. Now, if that depresses you and that makes you want to end it all quickly and stuff, let me say this. You cannot skip the lessons that your soul wants to embark upon and that your soul wants to learn, and neither can your soulmate, twin flame, or ultimate partner. It's not possible to do that. So if you're thinking, oh my God, I gotta be without them this time, then okay, you can go ahead and you can expedite, you can skip the lesson, but you're gonna have to come back and do it another lifetime. So why not get it over with and do it with excellence? Because once again, in the spirit realm, we are all together, we are all one. So if you are that codependent on your soulmate or twin flame, that means that somewhere, somehow, that's probably why you didn't end up meeting them in this life, because you may feel like you are not enough without them, or that you're insufficient. And that codependence, that's when it can really attract a separation from that person. It can cause problems if you all try to be together in this particular lifetime. Another thing is, too, if it makes you feel a little better, I am legally married, and I want to say that most people that I've come across, either that I've read for, I've looked at their birth charts and things, most married couples, they're not with their twin flame or their ultimate soulmate. They're with, most likely they're with a karmic. I married a karmic. And yes, we know they were karmic. So if he sees this video, he knows. Most people are usually with a karmic. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. Most people think of karmics as negative, or the person that pulls them away from their twin flame or soulmate. Like I said in the soul contracts video, imagine being in a classroom. You all are children, and you're with your best friend, the most compatible friend you can ever have, and you all are making noise, y'all are being class clowns, you're not getting your work done. So the teacher separates you and puts you kind of like with a more boring person across the room, and then you get all your work done. Now you're starting to get A's and B's, because when you were with your best friend at the back of the class goofing off, you're getting C's, D's, and F's. And now that you've been not repaired, but paired up with a different person who you're not as compatible with, is not as great, you're getting more work done. You're getting things accomplished. And that is exactly what your higher self does. It treats your life and your incarnation on earth as if they're the teacher, and you're saying, okay, if I'm with my ultimate, my most compatible person, I'm not going to get any work done. I'm not going to win that Nobel Prize. I'm not going to start that business that makes a difference, that elevates the consciousness on the planet, because I'm going to be so lost in love and so goofing off, or off smoking a joint somewhere. I'm not going to get anything accomplished. So your higher self knows to either keep you separated from your ultimate mate, or to either keep you separated from that person, only give you a short time period with them, so that you can go off with someone else to where it's more serious and you're getting more accomplished, if it's even meant for you to mate up in this life at all. So just keep that in mind. I repeat, most married couples are not with their twin flame. Another thing to keep in mind is most people, or a lot of people, and I don't want to kind of put an empirical evidence type of poll on this, let me just say it like this. A lot of people on earth, their twin flame isn't even on earth with them right now. Their twin flame stayed back in heaven. That's why you'll see a bunch of spiritual communities talk about, oh, you have a spirit husband, or you have a spirit wife. That means that you have a mate that did not come to earth with you this time. They're not in your movie. Remember, I talked about Angela Bassett, Courtney Vance. She's in the movie by herself without him. And that mate can interfere, because just as you're feeling that absence of your ultimate mate, that mate is also feeling your absence as well. And if they're back in the heavens, they can cause you interruptions, or they can even get jealous if you try to go on with your karmic and have something else going on. So it does happen. Once again, there are a lot of people on planet Earth. They're married, they have children, whole families, they stay with their spouse, and they're not with their twin flame, or their twin flame is not even on Earth, or their soulmate, their ultimate soulmate or partner didn't even come in this particular lifetime. Let's see, next point. Keep this in mind too. Yes, a twin flame soulmate or ultimate compatible partner can sometimes treat you worse than a karmic. I bet some of you all have met your twin flame in this lifetime. You all have met your soulmate. Maybe that person was abusing drugs. Maybe they were abusing you. Maybe they were disloyal. Maybe they were a liar. Maybe they left you for their own karmic. But just because you're with your ultimate compatible partner does not mean that the relationship is going to be healthy or conducive to your success and peace of mind in this life with your soul's elevation. Sometimes you do pair up with your twin flame soulmates to have an abusive relationship, to learn a karmic lesson from a past lifetime. That happens too. But for some of us, it's not necessary to go through those difficult lessons with that particular person. So once again, A twin flame, I repeat, please note this. I hope you all have pen and paper taking notes. A twin flame or soulmate, if they're not at their best, if they're not the most elevated, if they are toxic, they can be worse than a karmic relationship or someone you're not 100% compatible with. Another thing too, I always talk about, even if you're not worried about twin flame soulmates and all of that, a lot of us, we worry about synastry, astrological compatibility. You can have people who they are perfectly compatible to you. Their sun sign, maybe you're a Gemini, they're a Libra. Maybe in the Chinese signs, you're a rooster, they're an ox. Maybe you're Mars and Jupiter, Venus. Everything is all is perfect. You have perfect seventh house placements, etc. And overall, that person could be, once again, a junkie, or that person, their character may be bad. They may be irresponsible. They may not do what they say they're going to do. Once again, I bet you can think of a best friend. You all had great times, great laughs, or you had a boyfriend, girlfriend, a lover, whoever it is, and you all, they're wonderful people. You have the best time of your life, but the way that they carry on with their life, it can actually bring you down in certain ways. Maybe they are a thief, or once again, character issues. I repeat, you can have a twin flame, soulmate, best friend, whoever, and they be worse than a karmic. This is my next thing I want to say, and I made a meme out of this. Follow me on IG to see that. Character will always trump astrological compatibility any day. So maybe you are a, I don't know, a Libra with a Capricorn, which is a squared position to be in with sun signs. Okay, so you married somebody different than what you would usually get. But this person, they do what they say they're going to do. They come home when they say they're going to come home. You can depend on them. You may not get each other's jokes. It may be a little boring. But hey, at least they do what they say they're going to do. They're responsible. And there's peace in the house in general. Just because it's not a bunch of great fireworks and toe curling and chemistry, you're still getting things accomplished in the meantime in other aspects of your life. Because there are so many other aspects and facets of your life that have nothing to do with sex, romance, and all of that other type of Venus Oshun type of energy that also need your attention. You may be, the fact that you are with kind of a boring partner or not the most compatible partner, maybe that will make you a better mother or a better father or a better business person. They may sharpen you. They may be really good with helping you with business. Maybe it makes you travel more to kind of compensate, but you're going to find some way to compensate to where if that's kind of a lackluster point in your life, then other areas can be great and sparkly. So keep that in mind. And think about people who have arranged marriages, and you know, the Hindu Indian astrologers, they look at the synastry of the people. If you look at them, because I was watching a documentary on Netflix, I think it's called, I forgot what it's called, but there's a woman that was mating people together, and she was looking at their astrological synastry and their birth charts. And they were interviewing old couples who got an arranged marriage in East Indian culture. And they were like, yeah, she gets on my nerves and he gets on my nerves, but we're really great together. We've done a lot of great things together. So once again, keep that sort of thing in mind. Look at political relationships to where people who are going to be politicians, or they're going to be leaders, queens, kings, they may not marry a person that has them goofing off and everybody's having fun eating popcorn. They marry a person that's going to fit the position of what they want to do with their life, and that person fits well. Think about Barack and Michelle Obama or someone like that. That may be a bad example for some people, but keeping those things in mind, that doesn't mean it's just fireworks and all of that type of stuff, but those relationships tend to last longer and they tend to prosper together. When you pair those two together up, or when you pair people like that together, they get a lot of work done, and and what they do, it usually not only helps them, their family, their community, but also the masses of the world. They can reach more people together than if they were with their ultimate soulmates or twin flames and all that other type of stuff. Once again, I repeat, as I said in the beginning of this video, you can still date, have great sex, marry, stay married, and not be with your ultimate twin flame or soulmate. So don't lose hope if that's the case, if it has not happened yet or it's not meant to happen. I'll get to my story in just a minute. I'm almost there. Once again, it may not be jaw-dropping, toe-curling fireworks and completing sentences, but you can be content. It just means that other aspects of your life have the highlight over those things. Sometimes you can look and tell in your astrological chart too, like if you have missing planets, or you don't have like strong seventh house placements and things such as that. You can tell. Or if you have a sleeping Jupiter and all that good stuff. So, fun fact about me, You know, I like to know as much about myself as I can, and I've been doing that research for almost 20 years now. So I know my full astrological birth chart, I know the Western chart, I know the Vedic chart, I know all my Odus with the initiations that I've had with Ifa, etc., Orisha. So with that being said, fun fact about me, my ultimate mate is on earth right now. This person is alive, they are well. And guess what? I've never met this person before and they've never met me. And guess what else? We're not gonna meet in this lifetime. Fortunately, see, I didn't say unfortunately, I said fortunately. So once again, I don't have a spirit husband. My mate is down here on earth and we are not scheduled to meet each other in this lifetime. And guess what? I'm okay with that. At first it was disappointing, but everything for my Eastern, Western astrological birth chart, my signs, Odus, it all alluded to it. And it's like, I guess I already kind of knew before I got the confirmation, and I've already kind of been prepared for that. So when I tell you that it's not a misery loves company thing, when I'm trying to give you hope, once again, you can still have other fulfilling areas of your life. Let's see what else I was going to say. Yes, once again, I repeat, I'm legally married to a Karmic currently. Also, stay tuned for my Iyalode video. That's my soul group, Blueprint Deliverers, etc. Iyalode. And it kind of talks about the woman who's an Iyalode, which is a leader. We're usually not supposed to be in the same house with a husband or even say that we have a husband, even if we are legally married. So that's another video. We'll talk about that at a different time because you know I don't like to talk too much about myself. Let's see, what's the next point? A lot of these notes I've already pretty much said off the top of my head. Once again, if it's not meant for you to meet your ultimate mate in this life, if you're just kind of meant to settle, and I don't even want to say settle because you're not settling. Actually, it's gonna level you up to a degree. If you're not meant to be with your ultimate partner, twin flame, or ultimate soulmate, who you have the best compatibility with, the best sex and all that other type of stuff, that means don't blame God or creator or some bad karmic punishment. It can actually be your higher self, your own Ori, in agreement with your ultimate mate Ori to once again not meet in this life. It just may not be conducive to you all's mutual elevation. That means you have more work to do with karmics in this life. Once again, the mate would interfere with those soul lessons if you all got together or stayed together. You came here to do other things besides have puppy love and all that good type of stuff. Another thing too that's possible, this is gonna be funny, but it happens, I promise you it does. Your mate can be on earth right now. Let's say you're 35 years old and maybe they incarnated after you or before you. So say for instance, if your mate incarnated to earth years before you, say your mate is somewhere 92 years old and he's on his way out of here and you're 35. So that's kind of impossible for you to be with that person and have a healthy sexual relationship. Another thing that's funny too is you could be 35 years old and your mate, your ultimate mate, incarnated way after you. So your mate's on earth, but your mate's 2 years old right now in his mommy's arms or playing in the playground. So how in the world could you possibly be with your ultimate mate when your mate came too late after you and that person's 2 years old right now? It's just not going to be possible in this particular lifetime for you to be with them in a romantic way. Once again, the person, they could be alive right now, they could be a narcissist, they could be, once again, addicted to drugs, incarcerated, all other type of stuff. You may be a heterosexual person and that person may have incarnated as the same sex as you and you may not be attracted to the same sex, no judgment. And how is that going to be possible that you all be together romantically if you're not attracted to the same sex? Once again, these type of things do happen. Another thing is too, your mate could have incarnated and they could have passed away early. Maybe they passed away when they were, I don't know, a teenager or something, and they're not here anymore. So once again, those type of things do happen every day. They're quite common. They could be already married or tied up with someone else, entangled with a baby mama, baby daddy type of situation, but sometimes it's not always possible. Once again, if you did meet that person and they're not at their best, it could be a disaster for you or for them. It could take your life not only down, but it could take you back a couple of lifetimes to have to build up and start all over again to be with that person. So keep that in mind. Everything happens for a reason. If you can't be with that person, you haven't met that person, trust me, everything is for your greatest good. Everything is working out for your good. There's a reason for everything. Also, you came here to strengthen your love of your own individualized soul and self in your own personal relationship with the creator, your ancestors, and your guides. Because those are very, very important aspects of your spirituality and your life and your lessons here on this earth. And nothing is going to come before that or supersede that. Let's see what else we have here. Once again, if you are not meant to be with your ultimate mate in this lifetime, you may already be a person to where you're not a codependent person anyway. You're not sappy. Like, I'm the type of person, I love to get greeting cards from my family, my friends, and things like that, you know, my children, etc. But if someone's courting me or they give me like a romantic greeting card, I'm like, it makes me uncomfortable a little bit. So I'm giving you that example to say, if you're not meant to meet your mate in this lifetime, or if you're not meant to stay with them, you may already not be a big mushy person any type of way. So you're gonna kind of know your astrological makeup, your numerological makeup, your soul group makeup is going to kind of compensate to where it doesn't hurt as bad. Say, for instance, someone who's more sentimental and I love roses and flowers and kiss my toes every day. That type of person, they'd have a more difficult time. Whereas a person who's more romantically and emotionally self-sufficient and not as sappy and needy, they're gonna already kind of be like, okay, I'm good. Like, I'll be all right. If I don't meet that person, I'm gonna still have a great life. Hey, at least I got me. Do I still get to keep me? All right, bet. I'm gonna be good either way. So when you have that attitude, you're gonna be able to get through that lifetime a lot easier than someone who's more needy and needs a little more validation, romantically speaking. So it's important, even if you don't naturally have that independence in your spirit, then you want to, if you're not meant to meet that person, you have to cultivate self-sufficiency. Like, I am enough. I'm not incomplete without my other half. I am enough. I enjoy my own company, and I enjoy the company of the people around me that love me, whether it's family, friends, my children, whether it's people who I work with. I enjoy that, and I get the full experience out of that. Just because I don't get to spoon or get a big O out of that, I'm still fulfilled in my own type of way. So you want to work on that if you don't feel that way. Once again, not meeting your ultimate mate or being with your ultimate mate does not mean you're going to end up being lonely. Because you can be in a room full of people. You can be in a relationship, be married, and still be lonely. Check that out. So, signs that you have not met your ultimate mate or twin flame or soulmate in this life, or it's just not meant to be, or it's not meant to stay. Number one, you date person after person and none of them feel like home to you. Number two, the seesaw effect. When you like somebody more, they like you less. When you like them less, they like you more. It never seems to be even. It's always up and down. Next, when you do like somebody and they like you, it's always some obstacles. Maybe they're married, or maybe it's people interfering. Maybe they're, I don't know, a mama's boy and the mother interferes too much, or an ex won't go away, or the person, they have financial problems and they really don't need to be focused on a romantic relationship, or maybe they have health problems and it's just not conducive to being in a relationship with them if they have to focus on other things, or they're too far away in jail. I don't know. All other type of factors that we've discussed earlier in this video can be some of the reasons why you have obstacles, and it's just not meant to be. When it seems like somebody just steady throwing monkey wrenches, or somebody's kind of pushing buttons like a remote control to keep you all apart, sometimes that means it's not meant to be at that particular time. It either means it's not meant to be, you're not meant to be with that person in this life, or the timing is totally off. Next up, other signs that you may not have met your ultimate mate or it's not meant to be is missing seventh house placements or missing placements. Or you may have a Venus and Virgo if you're a woman. There are other signs too, but just check my Instagram page. I don't feel like running through all the astrological signs. I'll run through a few. You may have a sleeping Jupiter, meaning you have Jupiter in Libra, Jupiter in Capricorn, etc., or a sleepy Jupiter. I've talked about that too, so check out my Instagram. I'll try to leave a description below. What I'll do is give me about 24 hours after I post this video, and I'll put the signs where Jupiter is sleeping for women. That means that that if you get married, your husband may not be as responsive as you want him to. It may not be as fulfilling. If you have a sleeping Venus, if you're a man or masculine energy, that means that the woman in your life, you may not get that much fulfillment with the woman that you marry or settle down with. Once again, sleeping Venus would be something like Venus, Virgo, etc., etc. And we'll talk more about that later. Check the description box. I will leave a list. Let's see what else. So those are the signs. Tips. These are the tips. This is where the hope comes in. Number one, cliche, take good care of and love on yourself. Fill your own cup. That's the main tip. Take yourself out to eat. Buy yourself flowers. Take yourself out. Whatever you want to do, travel. Beautify yourself. Make yourself look, smell, and feel your best. Show up as your best each and every day and do what you say you're going to do for yourself. If you promised yourself you were going to do something, keep that commitment to yourself. If you're going to go back and finish those classes, go back and do that. But be good to yourself. Be your own best mate, first and foremost. And you're going to attract somebody that will do in this life in that particular way, that will treat you the same and honor you the same, even if they're not your most ultimate compatible mate or partner. Number two, and it kind of goes back to what I said, number one, learn to enjoy your own company. Number three, love and appreciate the companionship of those who are already in your life, your parents, children, friends. And remember, date for fun, date for friendship, because you can still meet some interesting people. Make some platonic friendships, platonic associateships, etc., etc. Meet interesting people. Life is a smorgasbord of different lessons from different people who you will cross paths with. And a lot of these people you know who are big characters in your life, you've known them many lifetimes before, even if they're not in your soul group. Number four, instead of focusing on attracting your twin flame or ultimate soulmate, focus on manifesting a healthy earth mate that you can be content with. So if you know that your twin flame or your soulmate isn't here, or they passed away already and you're already a widow or something, focus on attracting a mate in this life, a romantic mate or a sexual mate, etc. Should be marital, etc. Focus on attracting a marital mate who you can have a healthy, content relationship with, even if it's not a lot of fireworks. Doesn't mean that you're going to be tolerating each other, but just something like, well, it's cool. We have a nice, peaceful thing going on, and it works. Focus on attracting that. Because when you're manifesting, you don't want to manifest based on realistic things that may not be feasible in this particular lifetime, but you want to focus on realistic goals and also what works for you and what works for the other person. So contentment, peace, healthy relationship where you all can elevate together and do good things together. Number five, once again, appreciate the people in your life who are there, who did stay, who didn't abandon you, who didn't do you wrong. Appreciate people in your life for who they are, not who you wish they could be or would have been. You have to stop comparing other people to this ideal list that you have in your mind of what you thought you were going to get, or you saw a movie and you want a person to look like this or be this height or act like this, or you want them to bring you flowers every day. Appreciate people for who they are when they're doing the best that they can by you. I always talk about, sometimes people, they can have a big bowl full of love, a big mixing bowl full of love for you and everything that you want. But some people, it just may be a little saucer of what you want. So they don't have everything, but what they're giving you is the best that they can give you. So everybody doesn't have the big mixing bowl. Some people just have a little bit to give you, and that's the best that they can do. Just take it for what it is. It doesn't mean lower your standards. It just means take people for as they are. As long as they're not abusing you, mistreating you, trying to take advantage of you or exploit you, then accept that or just don't accept it at all. But when it comes to platonic people, family members and things like that, look at it with non-judgment a little more, and you'll feel a little more at peace and accepting of what their own soul's journey is. Next up, this kind of repeats the same thing. Stop comparing everyone to your ideal mate. I already said that. Look at everyone as a kaleidoscope of lessons. You can learn things from all the people you come across in your life, even if it's what not to do. Excuse me for stuttering so much today. Next up, make a really big impact with your own destiny to where you don't even have time to focus on what's missing. Be so busy, have so much going on in your schedule to where you don't have time to miss that soulmate twin flame type of thing. Think of people such as Oprah and people just doing it big in this particular lifetime. Keep your schedule busy, full of exciting things to do that's going to mark your legacy in this life, and you'll have less time to worry. Next up, take the attitude that nothing and no one is missing. Because if they were meant to be there, they would have. That goes for your missing father, your missing mother. Whoever's missing, they weren't meant to be there in your script at that particular time period. And if they were, then the lesson is to still carry on, because you still have yourself to take care of and do right by. Next up, once again, compensate. This is kind of like not focusing on career as much. Compensate by filling your life with fun and adventure. Book flights, travel, go to events, go to seminars. Once again, meet interesting people, learn how to do something new, learn how to perfect what you are already doing, take classes, take courses, and enjoy your life. Write a book, publish a book, do all of the things you wanted to do that you were afraid to do. Push yourself, and you're not going to be sitting up there whimpering as much in the middle of the night because this invisible ghost soulmate didn't show up at your doorstep. Next up, learn as much as you can about yourself and topics of interest, and find people also interested in those same topics to have good conversations and friendships with. I tell you, your life will be fulfilled if you take this advice. And that's a piece of advice I need to take myself, as far as letting other people in that have the same interests as me. Next up, see if there's any Ifa work or ebos that can be done to help you find that ultimate healthy mate if soulmate is not possible in this life. Next up, don't try to manipulate destiny to get something you weren't meant to have at this particular lifetime. There will come a future lifetime where you will still have to get space from that twin or from that ultimate relationship in order to grow, or else you will repeat those lessons. So don't try to skip the lessons. Go ahead and just move through it with grace and acceptance. Next up, remember, you are always connected to your ultimate soulmate, twin flame, or best partner in the spirit realm. Your Oris are always connected to one another and are in cahoots with one another. So you are never alone. You always have your soul group, your egg babe. Next up, focus on what you have been blessed with. So maybe you don't have a sparkling romantic life, but you have a great career, or you have a great family, or you have these great adventures or these great ideas, or people love you, or that type of thing. You have this charisma. So focus on that. Focus on what is popping and winning in your life, and spruce up those areas that do have the potential to be improved and leveled up. Next up, treat situations as if you were a widow that has no choice but to move on with your life. So if you're not meant to meet your mate, or they're on earth right now and y'all are never gonna cross paths like me, treat it like you're a widow. Treat it like they've already passed away and you don't have any other choice. So just because somebody passes away, if you're married and you become a widow, are you just gonna sit up and stare at the wall every day? Are you gonna join the monastery and become a nun? I would hope not. Don't become a monk. Enjoy your life and fill it with other beautiful things and other beautiful people while you are here on earth, because this time on earth is so short. It's a blip on the radar screen. We're not here very long, even if we are here to 100 years. Once again, keep in mind, just because you're not meant to meet that person in this life, you may not be destined to live to be 100 years old. Some people, they're not going to meet their mate in this life because they're not going to be here until they're like, maybe they're going to leave when they're, I don't know, 16 years old. And they're not going to be here long enough to meet that person. So I'm just saying, I wish you a long life. But what I'm saying is, if you fill your life with so many things, it makes the clock go by a lot faster and time flies. So don't worry about you're going to have this big old empty void like you're in solitary confinement. Fill your life with many beautiful things. Focus on what you have been blessed with. And once again, I repeat, treat your situation as if you are a widow and you have no choice but to move on with your life, because that is the case. Next up and last up, know that it is for your highest good never to punish you if you're not meant to be with your ultimate mate in this lifetime. So that's all I have to say and all I have to add. For more information, follow me on Adunola the Oracle. I go live there because I often like to go live and put music to my live streams to add to the mood. And I have suggested songs and playlists and things such as that. So I hope that this makes sense. I hope I didn't babble too much, and I look forward to talking to you all soon on the next topic. So whatever you think about it, leave it in the comment section. And this weekend, I'll go back and reply to your comments as much as possible. Also, the yes or no readings are still available, and spiritual background check readings. Check the description box or the link in my bio on Instagram to book an appointment with me. I only have one Instagram, no extra letters, numbers, or underscores. All right, peace, beloveds.